Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 4 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 5 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter ratios, proportions, and persons. Lessons we're going to cover today are convert between persons, fractions, and decimals. What percentage is illustrated? Scale drawings and proportions. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I'm on grade 5 math. Chapter we're on right now is ratios, proportions, and persons. Let's just start with the lesson that is how do you write 1 by 10 as a percentage? So we need to write 1 by whenever we need to write a fraction in the percentage form, we need to make the denominator equal to 100, right? So the denominator is 10. We know that 10 times 10 is 100, so you need to multiply the numerator and the denominator as well. So let's just multiply numerator and denominator by 10. So 10 times 1 is 10 and 10 times 10 is 100. That is 10 over 100. So that equals 10%. 10 over 100 equals 10%. That is 10%. Let's just start with the test questions. How do you write 1 by 10 as a percentage? So you need to make the denominator equal to 100. So 10 times 10 is 100. So you need to multiply numerator and denominator by 100. So 10 over 100. So 10 over 100 means 10%. It is the correct option is 10%. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 10%. How do you write 0.3 as a percentage? So whenever we need to write 0.3 in the percent, like whenever we need to write a decimal in the percentage form, you simply have to multiply it by the 100. So you need to do 0 0.3 times 100. So multiplying by 100 means you need to move decimal point two places, right? So we have only one place. So add another place and move it two places, right? So that would be 30%. The correct option is 30%. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 30%. How do you write 80% as a decimal? So you need to divide 80 by 100, right? When you divide 80 by 100, that equals 0 0.8. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 0 0.8. Option number 2 is the correct option. How do you write 100% as a decimal? - 10% as a decimal equals 1. Option number 2 is the correct option. How do you write 0.63 as a percentage? So you need to multiply it by the 100. 0.63 times 100. So you need to move decimal point two places, right? So that is 63%. The correct option is 63%. Option number 2 is the correct option. How do you write 30% as a fraction or whole number? How do you write 30% as a fraction or whole number in simplest form? That is 3 by 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Convert between, that's the one we just finished. What percentage is illustrated? What percentage of the shape is orange? 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. So 55% of the shape is orange. Let's just start with the test questions. Let's just start with the test questions. What percentage of the shape is orange? 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And 5 is 55. So that is 55%. Option number 2 is the correct option. What percentage of the shape is red? 10, 20, 30, 40. And 46% it is. The correct option is 46%. What percentage of the shape is orange? The correct option is 28%. Option number 2 is the correct option. What percentage of the shape is red? What percentage of the shape is red? That is 87%. Option 2 is the correct option. What percentage of the shape? That is 63%. Option number 2 is the correct option. What percentage of the shape is blue? That is 62%. Option number 2 is the correct option. What percentage of the shape is pink? That is 4%. Option number 1 is the correct option. Oh, 6% is not 4%. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is Anthony made a scale drawing for of a summer camp. The scale he used was 1 centimeter equals 6 meters. The sand volleyball court is 18 meters long in real life. How long is the volleyball court in the drawing? So we are given 1 centimeter equals 6 meters, right? You need to 1 centimeter equal 6 meters, right? Now here we have 8 meters. We need to write down how many centimeters it is, right? Just make a relationship between them. 6 times what number is 18? 6 times 3 is 18, right? So 1 times 3 is 3, that is 3 centimeter. The correct option is 3 centimeter. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. That's the one we just did, right? 3 it is. An arcade and made a scale drawing. In real life wide, it is 2 inches wide in the drawing. What is in real life if it is 2 inches wide in the drawing? What is the scale? The scale you are 1 inch equal how many feet? So actually it is 4 feet wide and in the scale it is 2 inches. So that is how many feet divided by 1 inch? But actually it is 4 feet and in the drawing it is 2 inches. So we need to calculate 1 inch equal how many feet, right? 1 inch equal 1 inch, this is inches, equal how many feet? So 2 divided, like 1 times 2 is 2. So what number times 2 is 4? That is 2 times 2 is 4. So it would be 2 feet. The correct option is 2 feet. Very good. Option number 2 is the correct option. Leah measured a petting zoo and made a scale drawing. The scale of the drawing was 1 centimeter equal 2 meters. 1 centimeter equal 2 meters. If the goat pen is if the goat pen is 6 meters in the drawing, how long is the actual pen? If the goat pen is 6 centimeter, we need to calculate how much meter it is. So 1 centimeter equal 2 meters. So 6 meter equal how many? 6 centimeter equal how many meters? 1 times 6 is 6, and then 2 times 6 is 12. That equals 12 meters. That is 12. Option number 2 is the correct option. One millimeter equal 4 meters. The actual width of the building is at the college is 24 meters. We are given 1 millimeter to 4 meters. Now the actual width of the building is 24 meter. We need to calculate how much millimeter it is. So 4 times 6 is 24. Then 1 times 6 is, then 1 times 6 is 6. That is 6 meter. The correct option is 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to Proportions. Let's just start with the lesson. Fill in the missing number to complete the proportion. 6 by 9. So start with 6 by 9. The denominator is, we need to make the denominator 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. So that's why we divided this fraction 6 by 9 by 3. So that is 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 is equal to 6 over 9. Let's just start with the test questions. Let's just start with the, okay, 6 by 9 equals, that is 2 by 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Fill in the missing number to complete the proportion. 2 times 3 is 6. So what number times 3 is 12? That is 4 times 3 is 12. So the correct option is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Fill in the missing number to complete the proportion. 5 times 2 is 10. So what times 2 is 4? 2 times 2 is 4. That is 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. Number to complete the proportion. So 4 times 4 is 16. So what number times 4? 5 times 4 is? That is 20. Option number 2 is the correct option. Fill in the missing number to complete the proportion. So 1 times 5 is 5, then 3 times 5 is? That is 3 times 1 times 5 is 5. That's for the last question 4, right? 1 times 5 is 5 and 3 times 5 is 15. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we ratios, persons, ratios, proportions, and persons. The lesson today are convert between persons, fractions, and decimals. What percentage is illustrated? Scale drawings and proportions. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I am here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So, so any questions you can please ask if you have any. No questions. Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.